How to rank for unlimited HVAC keywords on Google search. Guys, showing up at the top on keywords is where everybody is. It's where you need to be. Talk about it all the time. I still like this old school approach of going for organic because it's over 70% of what people do. And people will argue with me about this and say, well, people click on the ads. I'm like, where do you click? Well, I never click on the ads.
That's what I always say. I always say, when's the last time you clicked on an ad? And they're always like, oh.
When's the last time anybody, local service company, guy gets out, doesn't want it, needs a roofer, needs something else, whatever it is, asphalt, nobody clicks on an ad. Nobody does. Well, 1 out of 4. Nobody that I've asked in 5 years has answered yes to that question.
Yeah. I wonder sometimes if that's because they don't want to admit that they did it. But yeah, everybody says they don't do it.
Well, if you look at some of the reports, over 70% of people click on organic map placement. Yes, it's organically put up there. Your website, organic keywords, Google, Bing, AI now. They click on the non-paid items. We specialize in it. Love to have guys show up for hundreds of keywords. HVAC companies showing up for everything from a Wi-Fi thermostat to furnace repair to AC repair, and every part and everything they work on. Like to go for everything. So in this video, we're going to talk about how to get up there for literally hundreds, if not thousands of keywords, and what they can do to get their phone to ring daily. Best leads, by the way, even if they do click on those ads, they're clicking. Yeah. If they go down to the organic, they're buying into a brand.
Yeah, they go to your website, they read, okay, this guy looks good.
Look at some reviews. They go check stuff out, go to your map, and go to your reviews, go to your website, maybe click on the social media, and boom, they call. They're very unlikely to search around. Much better client base. So I'm Nolan. This is Jason. We've been out of Fort Worth doing this under roof for 15 years. We've had software called DataPens for 6 of those years. That's game changer stuff. And we're going to go into how to get your website up there, how to get organically up there. And we still talk about Google as a primary, but guys, this is Google mapping, Google organic, website, reputation reviews, and Gemini AI, which is the AI for Google, and the same thing on Bing with ChatGPT and mapping. Those are all the organically driven stuff where you're not having to pay for every click or call.
Right.
So that's still where everybody's going. All the old folks that own homes, they're not on TikTok looking for you. There's people looking and doing stuff other places, but they're also not direct search vehicles for local services.
Right.
So you want to show up here, you want to show up and do this stuff. I don't know what I want to talk about first. So as far as the value of it, I do want to go into that for a second.
Okay.
I don't stop and talk about it enough. I'm not as direct about it. We talk around points, or I do.
Yeah.
You don't do that, I do it. But if you show up in ranking, you get calls. It's where all the money is.
That's where leads come from.
Yeah, when people talk about buying stuff from Angie or Yelp or Home Advisor, Thumbtack, I don't hate any of it. Paying for a Google ad, paying for an ad, I don't hate any of that stuff. But it's very hard to make a return on investment dollar. And in fact, the first grouping, the one that said that their leads, half their leads come off their organic rankings.
Yeah.
They show up in ranking. And you can beat them because technically Google doesn't want to show them over local contractors. It started, I think, as called Google Local. And Google Places, Google My Business, Google Business Profile, and I think I'm missing one in there somewhere. But they've changed the name of it. But they show local people, local service, local contractors. And it hasn't changed any. And it's been the biggest thing and still is that's ever been known. It doesn't cost you anything. I have people get mad. This HVAC guy call me up and say, I hate Google, F Google this, F. They'll have like a 4.8 ranking and somebody gave them a bad review,
Yeah.
And I'll segue, talk about this for a second because it's interesting. Guy paid someone to remove the bad review. And I said, oh, don't do that.
Oh, God.
Because you're going to pay somebody out of India to start sending in IP addresses to say that the review's false. You know what happens if the algorithm doesn't like it, the look of it? They'll cancel your Google account.
They will suspend your
account.
They'll
suspend it. You might not get it back. If you do, it's a shell of what it was. It looks like you got your reviews, but they really started you over at 0.
Yeah. And they may just delete your reviews. They may decide, well, this guy's shady, so he has to start over.
Yeah.
We've seen that.
I was like, why don't we work on getting more good reviews and expanding our Google presence? Part of what I want to talk about, you should go after every single thing you can. Get up for, we're talking about getting hundreds of keywords, thousands of keywords. Get as many up as possible before you start looking around and like, hey, I'll pay someone to do spam, or hey, let's go buy some really poor return leads from Yelp, or let's go to Angie and pay them $10,000 a month to get primary placement. You pay for this stuff first and then get expansion. And very few people go as hardcore as they can. In fact, I would argue that 80+% of our clients that do this properly, they don't do any paid.
Most of them don't. Yeah.
Yeah, because they get bowled over with enough business from this that they.
Yeah. We have a few these days that'll have an LSA account that they'll put some budget on it, like when it slumps a little bit.
Yeah.
Just to make up a little bit of the difference. But most of our clients don't do paid.
So
we've had clients that were heavily into paid, and when they started with us and they finally got data pins going, they have called me and said, I stopped all of my Google PPC.
One of our favorite HVAC companies said that. It's been years. Said that like 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Still don't do any paid. Mission critical comfort.
Yep.
I think. So when I like, we work with other contractors, 2 other main categories, but HVAC, in my opinion, is the best for keywords.
Yeah.
You guys, I like to say, have more combinations than Sonic drink flavors, so it's like brands and parts and things, right?
Yeah.
So whether you're cleaning coils or replacing thermostats, you've got parts and brands on every job.
And HVAC is the unique category in that more of their customers know the brand.
Right.
They see the logo on their thermostat and on their AC unit outside and all that, so they actually know what their brand is, and so they will search for that.
They search the brands, and so there's all these wonderful keyword opportunities. And before you hate on the nuance of keywords, half of all keyword search is low search volume. Google calls it low search volume, but low search volume being half of all search. So you might want HVAC, contractor, AC repair, furnace repair, etc., but you want another 1,000 keywords, whether it's types of thermostats like parts replacements. You want all of it, types of air handlers. You want everything you can get your hands on because they do search them. And it strengthens your brand in the categories. So when we use data pins is a piece of software that helps you champion the brand on every job, even if somebody did not leave a review. Right. So somebody goes in and data pins within 60 seconds, 90 seconds, you're typing in a small caption, just replaced an M30 Wi-Fi thermostat, typing in the client's cell phone number, picking the thermostat page and picking the city you're in and hitting pin. Rather quickly, a lot of integrated things. I want to stop and say that we integrate it to the individual pages of the website, to the app and the software that we spent $2 million on, roughly getting close to it to date. That we've been working on it. And so as that stuff happens, it automatically will send that client a text and say, hey, can you leave us a Google review or a Facebook review? Here's some links. But you're lucky if 1 out of 10 people do that. Now Google gets to see every single job and not just a review if they left one, but the geo-coordinate. It was right here. Here's some unique photos. Did you know those kind of unique content? They do. Google can tell. And then your technical version of what happens is more keywords, and it nested up underneath the thermostat page, which used to just be 200, 300, 400 words about thermostats, but now you've done 10 word captions on 100 pins. Now it's 1,400 words.
It's 1,400 words, and they're better words.
Yeah.
I don't know how else to put it, because every one of those pins is a very direct, we performed this service at this location. We performed this service at this location.
Right.
And it's better content than just generalized, hey, yeah, we do thermostats. This is what thermostats are.
ChatGPT or a human trying to come up with a way to write a blog that's horrible content that nobody wants to read. Or not only do we do thermostats, we've done 100 recently. We've validated them in our service market. Please give us respect for this. Please move my map ranking higher with less reviews because you can see all the work that I'm doing.
Right.
And now please optimize me for the other 50%. I like to say that any client, we can double their clicks on just the fact that we pick up all the
more than double.
Yeah. Well, I know that, but just we get the half of the clicks that nobody optimizes for. The long tail,
true.
the long tail.
I was actually going to address that, is that what we're talking about, this unlimited or giant number of keywords, is our approach to this is radically different from almost everybody else. Because everybody else will be like, oh, well, what keywords do you want to show up for? And you give them a list of 10 or a list of 5, and they say, okay, we're going to make you number 1 for these. Now, number 1, they cannot actually guarantee that they can even do that.
Yeah.
And then number 2, they're giving you just a small piece of what's available. Every once in a while, I'll have a client call after they launch. They'll be like, so which keywords are you going for me? And they're thinking I'm going to say 5 or 10 or whatever. And I say, every single thing related to your business, every service you perform.
Right. That's a good point.
It's like, what keywords are you going for? All of them.
So 1,000 keywords are just inherent with properly curated content, proper concepts, proper experience and service and tools that we have, not just data pins, but us making up the website, all the things that are high end that we do in here.
Yeah.
And yes, most people look at it as 5 or 10 keywords. And I would argue if you do that, you're not going to show up for anything, because you'll have a very shallow written site that doesn't have much of a good user experience or feel. They can't expand upon anything else in there. But so we start with service pages, city pages, maybe even parts pages.
Yeah.
And then it's a good user experience. It's not spammy. And then you start raising your hand and expanding content from that. And Google loves that sort of thing. And yes, it's a great user experience. If you have a page for mini splits, or let's just say furnace repair, and you've got, let's say you have 75 reviews, but somebody else has 700, somebody else has 400, 300. But you now have gone on the furnace repair page and done 200 pins and validated the work 200 times just on that page, because they basically have to take for granted, I guess they do furnaces, I guess they do AC repair, I think they work on Wi-Fi thermostats. Google says, well, they did do a page about it, but it's a pretty, it's just a chintzy page, but we see it. I guess we'll give them a...
This person's within 200 yards of their office.
We'll show this to them. We'll trust them. We'll trust them that they've got, that they do mini splits. Oh, okay. We trust them, and they put up a page, so they must do mini splits. Our clients that get these pages tag them dozens, hundreds of times each page and validate it, and then expand each category into parts, brands, situations. And normally, if you really even try to understand this, you call and you buy cheap SEO. They slop up a horrible website. I don't care if you paid $5,000 or $6,000 for it, which we put up our websites. We're a monthly fee. We don't charge for the website that goes up, because nobody would pay me for it.
Right.
You go pay for one and pay $5,000, and they put up a horrible template still.
Yeah. It might look beautiful, but
it's a bad template.
It doesn't work.
So all this stuff gets done right, integrated properly, and you're raising your hand, and Google's like, wow. They're doing a lot of work on the AC stuff, validating points of experience, expertise, authority, and trust in a format that we can show them the content, directly relevant to repair, replace, install, contractor stuff. This technical version that the technician has is relevant to half of all the other search. So we're going to show them for types of thermostats, types of mini splits, types of parts on AC repair. These guys are doing work all over the place. This lady's looking for coil cleaning. And I don't care if you want the coil cleaning job or not. I mean, you want every call you can get and grow your client base. Anybody needing coil cleans about needing an AC replacement.
Yeah.
So, or may need one then, right then.
Every once in a while we'll get somebody who will call and they'll go, well, I don't want little repair jobs. I just want to replace whole systems. Yeah. I'm like, well, you got to start somewhere. And sometimes if someone calls you for a little repair, you go out there and you find out that their whole system has to be replaced.
Yeah, all the time. But I mean, if a client lets me, we optimize for literally hundreds and thousands of keywords.
Like I said, every keyword we can get, everything we can get.
Yeah, I used to think about it, but if somebody tells you they're going to optimize for 5, 10, or 20, it's old school spam. They're going to send links out of country with contextual backlinks.
We do the best spread we can without spamming the website at the beginning, and then your data pins activity gets all of the ones that we don't know about.
Yeah.
Everything you've
And
got.
your technical version of what expertise is out there is literally coincides with what local people search.
Right.
And it's such perfect content to add. So if you took that page for, let's just say, AC repair, and you tried to add more AI content to it, it's going to be a really trashed out, poor user experience. But if we write 300 or 400 words and then you pin exactly, we did this job here. It's a geo coordinate, looks like a red pin drop to you, but to Google looks like a digital hand raise. We were here. Here's what we worked on. It's relevant to the AC repair page. Here's photos of it. Here's my technical version of the caption. We worked on a Linux air handler. Please recognize that we work on these. Next time somebody searches one, Google has almost no credible data to show. And they're like, well, show them this AC repair page.
Right.
And so, and by the way, the data pins are doing extremely well in Gemini AI search, ChatGPT search. A rich snippet-ish AI snippet.
Yeah. They kind of replaced the rich snippet with the AI snippet.
Yeah, it's an AI snippet, and our clients' data pins are showing up. So we're
like
not
above the ads in some cases.
I want to stop.
I saw
and
that the other
oh
day.
yeah, above. Oh, well,
Yeah.
above the ads usually, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. We're not joking about hundreds of words at all. It's our average thousands. It's our Google Analytics stops at about 1,000.
Yeah.
Our average client will get this that stays on and moves through rankings. It is what we expect to have happen. So
generally speaking, we launch a new site. If the client gets on and does data pins the way we request that they do them from the beginning, within 90 days, we hit that Google telling us at least 1,000 keywords tracked.
yeah,
It happens like clockwork.
Get a couple hundred pins. We still do high-end essential SEO. We're still doing citations, some links, updates, changes. We're still working on all that stuff. And data pins never quits being worked on.
Right.
Now we're working on third-party SERP signals. Going to be awesome.
Cool.
Social media third-party SERPs, just automatic. So
Nice.
yeah, that's some badass stuff. Guys, check us out too. So many credentials that we earned. You can look us up everywhere, anywhere. Facebook, Instagram, Google, our Google GVP. You can look up podcasts, Spotify, Apple. You can look up video versions of it on YouTube. And we would so like to help you. You deserve to show up in ranking. I hope so. I hope you do. I think that there's a mental block with a lot of people. You need to get up in ranking. You need that stuff. I don't even know what to do, man. Like, write a positive affirmation. Tell yourself you can do it. Contact somebody like us. Quit screwing around. Get up in ranking, Have the phone ring every day. Have a good life instead of sitting around worrying about it,
Right.
So you can show up in ranking because we're a heavy hammer to swing in any market. I don't care where you are. You have webmasters and data pins come fight for you. We will fight for you. I expect you to get up in ranking, be happy 3 or 4 months in. You need to have something to start with a little bit,
Yeah.
Have your GBP up. I don't mind talking to you brand new, but we probably won't start you if you got nothing, like nothing. 0 to 60, we want you to be able to speed up quick. Right. So have a little bit of base to start. Call us when you're ready. Watch some more stuff. And we'd like to hear from you anytime. We'll see you.